Hey, it's Dustin Yark, freelance writer here. Today I want to talk about meeting your writing deadlines. This is critical whether you're writing fiction and you just want to get things published by a certain point in time, or if you're writing like blogs or articles or any other kind of freelance writing for a client. That's really important too. Not meeting your deadlines can cause huge problems for you. Clients probably won't want to work with you again if you're constantly late. This is actually a big problem that I've heard that a lot of freelance writers have, so I really pride myself on always meeting deadlines, and I'd be sure to mention that when I apply for writing jobs or things. I say that I always meet my deadlines or exceed them, things like that. Even if you're writing just like fiction to publish on Amazon, if you take pre-orders on Amazon, but then you don't meet the release date that you set, you might not be able to do pre-orders again for an entire year. So that can have a huge impact, especially if you're trying to publish multiple books a year. It can be a huge pain. Pre-orders enable you to kind of get interest in your book ahead of time before you've written it, but the downside to that is that if you don't get it out in time, you might really screw your business for the next year or so. So you don't want to do that. But yeah, you can really set yourself apart as a freelance writer by being able to meet deadlines. So I want to talk about some of the ways that you can go about doing that. Basically, it comes down to planning. There's all kinds of different ways that you can plan things out. First thing is making a schedule for yourself. Make sure that you're reasonable. Don't schedule more work than you can handle, because then if you bite off more than you can chew, obviously you're not going to get it done in time. You're either going to miss your deadlines or you're going to be burnt out and miserable if you do meet them. You're going to be up until like 2 a.m. trying to get your work done, panicking. That's not when you're going to produce your best results. So don't agree to deadlines that you can't meet. If a client gives you a deadline, make sure that it's something that you can do before you agree to it. Or if you do have a deadline and you feel like you're not going to be able to make it, let clients know as far out in advance as possible. Just say like, hey, can I have like another day or two? I'm running into problems. This required a lot more research than I thought I was going to need. So set your schedule, be reasonable and realistic with it. And then if there are issues that come up with your schedule, communicate with the client and let them know what's going on. Always keep them in the loop. It's better to tell them that you're going to be late as opposed to the deadline comes around and they just don't have the finished assignment from you, which is annoying. So make sure you schedule and learn not to procrastinate. I know that's easier said than done. That's a whole topic in itself. I'll probably end up making some video about dealing with procrastination in the future. I've already talked about like motivation and how you can kind of lay your work out. But basically look into ways to reduce your procrastination or find like what your motivation is for not procrastinating. Like you could do all your stuff and then be super guilty the whole time that you're doing it instead of working, and then you have to rush and do the work at the end. I find it's a lot more enjoyable. Just hunker down, do all your work, get it out of the way, and then your free time is totally guilt-free after that. So don't procrastinate. Get it done, meet your deadlines, and then once you're done, you're clear sailing and you can do whatever you want until it's time to work on your next project. So that's one thing. And not being a perfectionist also will help you out a lot, I think. If you get your project 80% of the way there, a lot of people, myself included, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm never going to be like 100% happy with the writing that I've produced, but you just got to get it 80% of the way there and then get it out of the door, send it off. Don't let yourself sit for hours and hours and try and make sure that it's perfect, especially if you're going to miss deadlines because of it. So get it most of the way there, get it to like a reasonable quality, but you don't have to get it flawless. Just send it. Most of those little mistakes are things that only you are going to notice. The client's not going to comment on them anyways. So just don't focus on getting your writing to 100% quality, because it wastes so much extra time getting that last 20%. You can also block out large chunks of uninterrupted time. I find this really helps with productivity and getting a lot of work done so that I can meet my deadlines. So you You can do that. You can also use writing sprints or the Pomodoro technique where you write for like 15 or 20-minute segments at a time. So I'd recommend doing that. Or there's other things that you can do to basically chunk your big projects out into little mini goals. It really helps to make it more manageable that way. But that's just some of the stuff that I do to make sure that I never miss my deadlines. I can't really think of anything where I've had a strict deadline that I've missed within the last like several years since I started writing. So I think I'm pretty good at it. Hopefully those tips help you. If they did, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to have more writing tips in the future. If you have any questions about freelance writing or any other topics, go ahead and ask me, and I'll see you guys in my next video.